and welcome to a Star Stable video. Now, I actually hadn't planned to do any Star Stable videos again this year. However, the new Pintabians came out, and if you know me, you know that my logo horse, aka Sporkle, is actually a Palomino Pintabian that originated from Star Stable, and the new one looks exactly like her, like literally copy pasted onto the new model. So I'm gonna go get one today and I'm gonna do a side by side, and I'm really excited because she can finally wear all the new tack and she won't look super crusty anymore. No offense, Gen 2 Sporkle, but we're gonna just jump straight into it. I'm pretty sure they're at Gold Spur, which is a blast from the past because the old Pintabians, the Gen 2, used to be at Gold Spur as well. So I'm gonna actually just go ahead and run over there. In the meantime, I'll kind of explain who Sporkle is, how she came about. Essentially, back when my channel was an itty bitty baby, I was looking for sort of a logo horse, and around that time the Gen 2 Pintabians came out, and I just absolutely fell in love with the Palomino Pintabian. And my best friend Queasy actually ended up doing this like sort of like coloring book thing of Sporkle, and I loved it so much. I was like, yes, this is my logo horse. I want this to be my logo horse. So I kind of created an OC based off of her, and I've had fan art for her. I've had commissioned work as well. There's this really cool animation that got done by Sonia Sands on Instagram. I'll have their @ up on screen. She's an incredible artist. If you're looking for like Star Stable stuff, Sonia Sands is the way to go. So they should be... oh my gosh, I was running in the right direction and then I ended up getting confused. Now, I am going to be a little bit of a boomer on Star Stable because I don't play this game enough. I'm not like well versed in how this game works anymore. Can I go up here? Oh, I cannot. Okay, so that roof does not exist. Oh my god! Stop. Okay, so I'm gonna actually go ahead and put them like sort of side by side. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll hide me. How do I do that? Oh no, it's become a wild horse, isn't it? Become a wild horse. Okay, and I'm actually just gonna take off all her tack so that we can have a really nice side by side. Here we go. Right, oh my goodness. So straight off the bat, the color's different. I did notice this Sporkle seems to be less tall. I think that's a model-based thing. I think naturally the Arabians were shorter, although it could be sometimes that the bi horses are like clipped into the ground ever so slightly, so they look shorter than they actually are. Oh my goodness, this is surreal. So it's not exactly the same, but it is super duper similar. I think what I'll do is I'll sort of take pictures of them both once I've bought this Pintabian and kind of do a proper in-depth sort of analysis of the difference between them. But straight off the bat, the new Pintabian's color is definitely lighter. The markings though are strikingly similar. Like when I first saw this horse kind of get released, from what I could see, she looked almost exactly the same. Even down to sort of the leg markings. Yeah, the leg markings are super similar, if not exactly the same. Oh my goodness, it looks exactly like her. I'm so happy. I was so worried that they would release Sporkle in updated terms and it just wouldn't look like Sporkle, but it totally does. This horse is adorable and I love her so much. The only thing I can kind of... actually... am I right? Yeah, so there's a little bit more grey on the muzzle as well. I'm so excited to buy her though. Okay, we're going to go ahead and purchase. Oh yeah, I forgot you can actually scroll through the different Pintabians. Now, I don't know if anybody else feels this, but I feel like other than this one had like sort of a Gen 2 sister, the other ones look very different. I haven't seen a lot of these coats, and personally, this Palomino definitely looks the best, in my opinion. I think this one is absolutely stunning. I'm not a huge fan of any of the others, actually. This one's kind of cute. But obviously, we're here today for Sporkle. So we can actually change her mane. Now, Sporkle, I think, normally just has, like, the... I guess it would kind of be this, wouldn't it? We could go... I mean, what I can do, actually, is if I plait it, and I'll plait the other one's hair as well when I take the photos, it'll be easier to be able to see the sort of differences. I'm so excited. Okay, so this is the Gen 3 Sporkle. We're going to personalize and buy it. Now, Sporkle's name in Star Stable is Wild Mist. I'm going to see if I can get maybe something closer to Sporkle. I reckon the word Sparkle will probably be an option, but I don't know how I feel. Yeah, so this Sparkle, I don't really want to call her Sparkle because I think that it's like too off-brand, you know? I don't like it that much. Is there like Spore? So there's Sporty, for Sporkle. Or we could just go with the original Wild Miss. I don't know. Don't know what to call it. Oh, that's cool. So if you pick the same name, it actually lets you know that you have a horse named the same thing. That's actually a really nice thing. I remember knowing a few people who ended up calling a horse the same thing, the same as me. I've made that mistake before. So it's quite nice that it actually tells you that you've already got a horse of this name. So I have gone with Wild Miss just because the sparkled sporty options just weren't close enough. They didn't sound right to me. So I'm just going to go with Wild Miss because that is sort of her OG Star Stable name. So I'm so excited for this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and finally, after like so many years, we're gonna buy the Gen 3 Sporkle. Let's go ahead and purchase. Yes, I'm sure I want to buy this horse. Oh my gosh, there she is. Oh my gosh, she's so perfect. I love her so much. Oh my god, I love her so much. Her feet are in the ground, but that's fine. Okay, so we can either send to stable or ride now. I kind of want to just ride her now. Let's just ride her now. Oh my god. This is, oh my god, I'm getting like emotional because I just know that like, I don't know, 16-year-old Abby would have loved to have Sporkle like updated and oh my goodness, look, she's so precious. I'm gonna go ahead and call for pickup because my home stable's Jorvik stable. So we'll pop down to the big arena and we'll have a quick look at her gates. All right, so now we're at the arena. We can have a look at her gates. Now, I am fully aware that the Arabian model is not new. The Arabian gates are not new. I completely get that. In fact, they're borderline old, borderline. However, this is Sporkle we're talking about, so I do want to sort of do a side-by-side. I generally do like the Arabians' gates. I think they look really good. In general, as well, this coat isn't mirrored, which is something that I really, really like about it. That's something I really didn't like about the Jorvik horses was sometimes they were mirrored, but yes, okay. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. I'm actually so in love with her. Oh my gosh, Star Stable, thank you so much for having a design like Sporkle's. I think that was so good. I think, to be honest, I don't have metrics on Star Stable, but I'm pretty sure the Palomino Pintabian was like sold really well. I feel like a lot of people bought it. I saw it a lot around the place. So I'm really glad they brought it back because it looks so good. The Palomino with the paint and the dapples. It's not just like a blank Palomino either. It's got the dapples like. So nice. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually create a little side-by-side view for you guys to see the differences between the new gen and the old gen, and of course the differences in the coat as well. So I'll do a little voiceover for that. Here I've compiled some footage of the Gen 3 next to the Gen 2. First we have the top view with the Gen 3 on the right and the Gen 2 on the left. The pattern is extremely similar. The only difference that stood out to me was that the newer horse has more white on its shoulder where it meets with the hairline. Here is the comparison of the left-hand side. You can really see the color difference where the Gen 3 has a lighter, more blonde coat, and the Gen 2 has quite a harsh and dark color to it, which also makes the dapples stand out more. This is kind of down to preference if you like prominent or subtle dapples, but personally I think the newer coat is just blended better and looks more natural. One thing I do wish the newer model had was the high flared tail. I really like that about the Gen 2 model. The right hand side is the same. You can actually see the extra white on the shoulder here more clearly. It also just occurred to me that horses don't idly graze anymore. At least most of the newer horses I've seen don't have a grazing animation, which is quite sad. Here are the leg markings. These are pretty much identical all the way down to size and patterns, which is really nice. And here is just the front view. You can really see how wide set the Gen 2 is when it stands compared to the Gen 3. And here is the face. Both are super cute, but Gen 3 definitely has more a feminine and cartoon look to it. Personally, I really do like both. So that was the side-by-side. I actually wanted to check something. Now, if you notice, my Sporkle's a bit like translucent. That's because of the shaders I have on. Don't panic, my game's not broken. But I did want to sort of see... that was sort of what I was afraid of. So I think, yeah, some of these bridles sort of... That is frustrating that like brand new tack you can't put on a brand new horse. Admittedly, I'm not saying that this is a new model. I absolutely am not saying that. But if you're going to bring out new coat colors, essentially. I feel like you should be able to at least put on some of the new attack. Like, most of the bridles you can't even put on. Now, I might be missing something here. It might be that these are sort of breed exclusive, which is sort of understandable. However, it is a little bit frustrating. So yeah, you can't even put like the leg wraps on. I think those are exclusive to Lipizzaners though. Yeah, I think these are as well. Okay, that is a bit annoying that there is tack that you can't put on breeds that have just sort of, or at least colors that have just come out. That is really frustrating. I have heard about Gen 4 coming out, and as frustrated as I think people are with like, we're gonna get Mustangs, Dartmoor ponies, etc. Insert like a long list of horses they're going to release, and being frustrated at the fact that we know we're gonna buy new horses only for them to be outdated within the like coming years. That is frustrating. I am hoping though that Gen 4 will be a leap rather than being like, oh yeah, they're just new horses, and instead being like, okay, every horse in Gen 4 can wear this tack. Every horse in Gen 4 is able to wear new tack that comes out, rather than this kind of like battle between Gen 3s not being able to kind of put stuff on, even if their class is Gen 3. So I'm hoping that sort of gets fixed with that. Say that's sort of my biggest criticism of the breeds that are coming out at the minute, is that you can't put all the tack on them, which is a little bit silly. However, I am super happy with my brand new Sporkle. You will definitely see me riding this horsey around. In fact, I'll probably do some training streams as well, so if you want to join that, make sure to hit subscribe and the bell notification, and join the Discord because we post about live streams and new horse games up on there as well. So if that's something you fancy, it's linked down below. Also, if you've been sitting on the fence on whether or not to get this horse, I recommend getting it, because if I see you riding around Jorvik or on my streams, I will just automatically shout you out and I will fangirl over your horse, because I love this horse so much. I love the coat. I think it's I choke. That's how much I love the horse. I think it's absolutely stunning. Star Stable, you get a thumbs up for me in terms of this coat. I think it's just wonderful. I love it so much. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Stay positive, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.